I have already talked to you about this, but we will do it very briefly because later I want to listen to a practitioner in teamwork and an artist himself. So let us see if I can move forward with this thing. Yes. On the left hand side of the screen we have a symbol of the creative people. They are rather disordinary and it's pretty hard at times to figure out what they have to say for themselves. But they are visionary, they see products or ways of doing things earlier than other people. But that's the pop culture caricature of them, rather sketchy. On the right hand side you have the scientific consensus of the technocrat, very organized and very capable of communicating. Now they are different, yes. If you put them on a radar chart, you will have the finance professionals as having higher risk tolerance, more competitiveness and rather selfish. Regarding trustworthiness, the results are not really that clear, but they are prudent. They're not completely risk-seeking, though they are more risk-seeking than the general population, as they are more intemperate of the general populations. They don't blindly reckless across the board, but in general they are perceived as being less honest or taking advantages, opportunistic behavior if possible. But that result has not been settled. The question is that they come to the fore as more competent and more broadly picturing the behavior of the company than the rest of the workers. And because of that, they are sought to lead the companies. Because the artists are people-oriented, open-minded, intuitive, while the craftsmen, which are the ones that actually do the things, are humane, dedicated, knowledgeable and wise. And the technocrats we already know, detail-oriented, rigid, methodical, etc. The problem is how they see each other. The technocrat views the artist as nuts, out of control, spending too much time on the coffee machine talking. And they view the craftsmen as obsolete. You could discard them. You could do their work could be done better by machines. And while the artists and the craftsmen are fellow travelers, they are distinct and not necessarily they will collaborate against the technocrats. So what we have here in the funnel of promotions is that the artists and the craftsmen are ushered out while the technocrats become the leaders. And the problem is that Pitcher already succeeded in detailing is that the technocrat profile is so detail-oriented and methodical and rule-based that it favors their promotion as the corporation becomes more complex. And the technocrat, with its rigid mentality, seeks to fit people into their own perspective of the jobs available. So the contextual visual is that in the trading floor, cutting a losing position without flinching is characteristic of the behavior of a technocrat. Whether it's in the organization, evaluating an intuitive and unquantifiable employee like the artist becomes very difficult. So the result is that you do away with them. Now, we must understand that Pitcher's work was only on one company and there was no control, and therefore we only have the gist of the behavior of the type of people that make organizations. But it has something which sounds very truthful. Companies tend to be led by people who have a technocratic mentality. And this leads to lack of innovation and eventually the corporations become brain dead, as I suggested was the case of Sanofi. But let us wait for our next meeting, when we will have an artist who is also an orchestra director and sees the field from both positions, because he is a director of orchestras which requires dealing with lots of artists. He is an artist himself. Let's wait at our next episode. Thank you very much.